We are convening this meeting of the Sonoma County Junior College Board of Trustees to order. Welcome everybody. Thank you for being here, and Happy New Year and a good start to the spring semester wished for everyone. We'll start as we always do with our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we gather at Santa Rosa Junior College on the territorial traditional land of the Pomo people in Santa Rosa and the Coast Miwok people in Petaluma, past and present, and honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who have stewarded it throughout the generations. Thank you for your attendance today. Public comment will be allowed at the appropriate times. If you would like to make an in-person public comment, please grab one of the yellow cards in the back of the room and provide it to Zara up here at the front desk. For those on Zoom, please wait to raise your hand until invited to do so by me. All right, we are on item B1, announcement of reportable action from closed session. There is none. Next, item B2, approval of the open session agenda. We are going to pull item E5, BP 3433, and BP 3433A. With that change, do I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
All right, are there any public comments or board members wishing to comment on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll take our student trustees advisory vote. Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed or abstain? The agenda is approved with E5 removed. Next, B3, approval of the regular meeting minutes from our last meeting. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Any public or board members wishing to comment on that? Seeing none. Student trustee Spinozzi.
Aye.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? The minutes are approved. All right, we are on to item B4, which is our employee of the month for January 2025. Biene Megos, custodian from Custodial Services, will be presenting Mangi Gabri with our employee of the month.
Okay, come on here. Good afternoon, President Ezra Chapin, President Dr. Garcia, member of the Board of Trustees, SRJC College Community, family, and friends. Hello, my name is Mengstab Gabre, Manager of Custodian Service. It's my honor to celebrate Biene Mogos for our January 2025 Employee of the Month. Biene has served as a custodian at Santa Rosa Junior College for 20 years, and his dedication and hard work has had lasting impact on our campus community. Before coming to the United States, Biene worked as a mechanic, bus driver, and worked with the United Nations Department. My team loves to work with Biene, and I can tell that he believed in the college community through his hard work. My time with him has been wonderful. Biene always goes beyond when performing his duties to clean the school environment for staff and students. His work is always of the highest quality, and his assigned building floor is always clean, and I am especially grateful for his hard work to get the job done. He is a hard worker, a team player, and always working well with others. I believe that Biene is an outstanding SRJC employee with the skill and experience to show for it. Most importantly, he always makes sure that his area is clean, liners are replaced, soap is refilled, carpet vacuumed, toilet cleaned, everything restocked, and always keep it a safe and clean campus for all. Bena has always been very committed to his work and believe it for all the college staff, and I appreciate his work during deep cleaning, where the inter-custodian crew comes together to offer high-quality cleaning across the campus. He always has amazing communication skills. He is a master of organizing when performing his duties. His offers make the inter-process much fast and smooth for everybody. I am glad to have this opportunity to nominate Beyene for Employee of the Month because he deserved this recognition. Beyene has been a great asset to custodian services, and my time with him has been wonderful. Beyene, I'm grateful to present this award to you right now for Employee of the Month for January 14, 2025. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I just want to say little words to appreciate that you guys gave me, so I don't take too time. I would like to say to thank Dr. Garcia, my management staff, and his board of trustees, also who made time to come support me. I would say thank to the people of America and the government. They gave me this opportunity. Finally, God bless this country and the great people of the United States of America. Thank you.
Okay, we'll give Ben his certificate. Ben is here.
Thank you.
And this here I have for culinary art, gift certificate. And this is for the theater art show. And I guess I have one here. And you have this small, I guess, a gift from Clover Staff.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
congratulations on a very well-deserved recognition. If you came here just for that, nobody has to stick through the rest of the board meeting, but you're certainly welcome to do so. All right, so we'll pause just for a few seconds.
Thank you.
All right, we are moving on to item B5, public comment. As a reminder, each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the board. Please state your name and any affiliation. I'll start with comments here in the room before moving to Zoom. I have a card from Michael Vanderporten.
Good afternoon. Happy 2025. Welcome to the new year. Hey, I'd like to talk to you briefly about a representative democracy. That's what we're supposed to have here. Of course, we're seeing lots of things going on in Washington, and the question is, does the public matter? The whole idea of a representative democracy is that we, the public, are represented by you, the elected board members, and that's how we affect things. And hopefully we, the public, can bring you points of view, you take a look at them and move forward. What do we expect? We expect that you'll receive input and that somehow you'll first acknowledge it. Send back a note saying, hey, received your message. And then we hope you come back and say, yeah, we agree, we're working on it, or it's something we already know about. Or no, we disagree, you know, there's other reasons and there are other priorities and we disagree with you. Or let us know it's not relevant. It's some issue that the junior college, for example, is not involved in. If you deal with the Board of Supervisors, you deal with the City of Santa Rosa, you deal with the Santa Rosa City Schools, that's exactly what you get. You get back an email that's saying, hey, thanks, we'll be back with you. What do you get at JC? You get nothing. You get a brick wall. You send the email and you get absolutely nothing back. Well, so you're not taking a look at any of this material, not doing anything with it? Well, you can ask it as a member of the public. You can find out because you can file a request for Public Records Act. That will, of course, then show us the emails that you've received, the emails that you've sent among yourselves, taking a look at those issues. When I ask for public records, I get back an answer that says, nothing. We don't have it. The email you sent has been disappeared. It's just been destroyed. There are no backups. It does not exist anywhere in the system. And nobody in the junior college has taken a look at that issue. It is an absolute black hole, disappears to nowhere. There's no record, there's no backup, there's no nothing. So the question is, where does the destruction happen? Is there some sort of filter that says if there's a public comment that comes to a board member or to a member of the administration or the staff, it gets destroyed immediately, so there's no record of it? Does it get destroyed later? Where does it disappear? And this applies even to hard copies. At the meeting you held in Petaluma, you were each given a hard copy of a document. The junior college says there isn't a single copy of that in any of your hands, any board member's hand, any administrator's hands, or even key staff members in the junior college. What happened to it? And I remind you, this is not a Brown Act issue. You're encouraged and invited to communicate with the public. The expertise resides in all of us and all of you, not just in the few seats that are sitting up at the head table. I invite you to open up the discussion, to bring everybody to the table, and let's start responding. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any other public comments in the room? I don't have any other cards. Is there anyone online? All right, seeing and hearing no more public comments, we will close public comment and move to item B6, monthly updates, starting with Dr. Garcia and the President Superintendent's report.
Good afternoon, Board President Siobhan, trustees, colleagues, students, and the community. I do have an in-depth President's report for today, but I would like to begin by welcoming everyone to the new year, to the spring 2025 semester. Offer my congratulations to Bayeni. Had a wonderful opportunity to connect with him and learn of his story, his immigration story to the United States, and hear about his adult children and just the immense pride that he has working throughout our community. It's always invigorating when students are on campus and seeing colleagues hosting tables throughout the different sites to help students find their classes. I can only imagine how many times they had to answer the question, where is X Hall? And the many ways that I saw other colleagues helping each other out, realizing a student who's walking around and just happens to have that look. And it always warms my heart when we pause and take a moment to help one another. This past weekend was Super Saturday and the district sites were open and serving students in preparation for the first week of classes. So to all of my colleagues, our colleagues who were here over the weekend to provide that level of support for students, thank you so very much for your time. I would like to now begin with some items in my report. Our community here is no stranger to the impacts of fires ravishing land and homes and completely shattering the lives of those impacted. And in our community, think of like the Tubbs and Kincaid fires. Amidst the despair, we saw our community locally at SRJC and throughout Sonoma County come together to support those who had lost loved ones, their homes, and who needed the hospitality of neighbors. The LA fires have unleashed similar devastation, and our California Community College community is coming together, is reaching out to assist students and employees alike at some of our LA colleges, predominantly right now at Pasadena City College, Pierce College, Santa Monica College. I have shared our learnings from post-fire recovery with fellow college presidents, from communications to the ways in which this district provided a level of aid to students and to employees, to the MOUs that we put in place with local community partners so that they may have an accelerated road to recovery. If you are so inclined, please consider donating to SRJC's Crisis Response Fund, which was established to support students impacted by wildfires and other crises. You can follow the tab. You can also directly support the California Community College Foundation. I'll be sending out communication to the district that will have these links, as well as the Pasadena Community Foundation. We know firsthand what it means when we show up for one another in those ways, and our district is doing our part as much as possible to share with colleagues in the Los Angeles area. Next matter I'd like to share is regarding campus safety, 911 calls specifically. I want to address the 911 call routing compliance issue that was raised in December 2024. For some background, in March 2024, the district modified the call routing system to direct 911 calls from on-campus phones to our district police dispatch. While this change improved response times, it unintentionally bypassed the legal requirements under Raybaum's Act and Carey's Law, which requires that calls route through a primary public safety answering point, abbreviation the PSAP. Management became aware of this issue in late August 2024, and the district started to explore the options of becoming a primary PSAP, ensuring both compliance and prompt response. However, by November 2024, we did not have sufficient enough information, and we reverted to a compliant configuration while continuing to explore what is required to meet these standards long term. So since November 21st, 2024, the district has been in compliance. To be clear, the district was non-compliant for 9 months and 9 days. During that period, 4 911 calls were routed directly to SRJC District Police rather than a primary PSAP, which expedited response but was not compliant with legal requirements. Those 4 calls were March 15th, the Hale call box outside was activated by a Santa Rosa High School student, and it was deemed that there was no emergency. On May 23rd, 2024, a call from one of the district-owned houses on Elliott Avenue was activated. There was no emergency noted. On August 22nd, 2024, out of the call building was district personnel testing the dispatchable location. So that was an in-house test that we were doing. On September 4th, 2024, at the Lindley Center for STEM, there was a disconnect from a caller. The dispatch unit called back to the classroom number. There was no answer. They simultaneously reviewed camera footage, did not see any engagement. However, the dispatch released a unit to the classroom. No one was present, no emergency threat present. Moving forward, we are committed to balancing compliance with response efficiency to prioritize the safety of our community. The district will continue to evaluate our options and update you on next steps, but please be rest assured that the district is within compliance for on-campus 911 routing of calls. Our next topic is on the appropriate use of district email and distribution lists. Yesterday, I sent a message regarding the District Board Procedure 2.3P, which is the computer and communications technology use, in response to a number of emails containing content that was raising concern and fear for many employees. The district leadership is addressing the matter accordingly and within full consideration of legal and collective bargaining agreements. Upon a thorough assessment from perspectives of law enforcement, legal rights, board policies and procedures, and collective bargaining agreements, there is no threat to the community as a result of this situation. I do want to acknowledge that the content of some of the emails has been alarming for colleagues. I want to acknowledge that. I don't mean to dismiss that at all. To ensure effective communication and maintain a professional email environment, I want to remind everyone to review the standards for sending broadcast messages per 2.13p. There are 6 very specific guidelines that we are called to as employees to utilize when engaging in broad email communications. Again, this is under a theme of campus safety, really wanting to make sure that folks know that when matters of safety concern arise, that this district leadership team is in fact working in a timely and appropriate manner. Along some additional changes, there's board policy and administrative policy related to Title IX regulations. At the beginning of this meeting, you saw that we had some changes. For some context, Title IX was enacted in 1972. It prohibits sex-based discrimination in federally funded educational programs. Over the years, its regulations have evolved with significant changes proposed and implemented, particularly concerning protections for LGBTQ+ students. In April 2024, the U.S. Department of Education released final Title IX regulations effective August 1, 2024. There was immediate opposition to these changes, and states began to file lawsuits challenging the new Title IX rules, particularly the inclusion of gender identity and sexual orientation. Several federal judges issued temporary blocks preventing the regulations from taking effect in specific states. The U.S. Supreme Court declined an emergency request from the Biden administration to reinstate the blocked regulations, allowing the injunctions to remain in place in certain states. On January 9th, a judicial ruling vacated the 2024 Title IX regulations nationwide, declaring them unlawful and exceeding the Department of Education's authority. What does that mean for us? This decision nullified the expanded protections for LGBTQ+ students, reverting Title IX enforcement to the previous 2020 regulations, pending further legal developments or administrative actions. As a result, the second reading of BP 3433 and BP 3433A, prohibition of sexual harassment under Title IX, has been pulled from this evening's agenda. As reported in the December board meeting, the following APs were adopted on November 7th. Those are APs, Administrative Procedures 3433 and 3433A, as well as AP 3540. And these are all related to Title IX. So based on the recent judicial decision, the district must revert to the previous versions of this policy and related procedures as listed on our website pending future changes. We are, as a district, compliant, and I will be sending additional information tomorrow district-wide, but effective immediately, the district will continue to use the 2020 regulations, which are still under use, because even with the 2024, there was a time period where cases prior to August 1 followed 2020, August 1 and later followed 2024. That's no longer the case. So I want to communicate that so that there's clarity among students in the community that our responsibility for Title IX programming efforts is compliant. I do know that the information that I'm sharing feels incredibly heavy and cumbersome, but these are critical issues that impact us in the work that we do in serving students and this community, and it's important for the public to know the ways in which this district is responding when changes happen, especially at this federal level. For some lighter news, I am very excited to support and announce our Professional Development Activity Day. So PDA Day on February 13th, we will host the Spring Professional Development Activity Day, where we get to highlight the expertise, research, and accomplishments of faculty and colleagues A specific hallmark of the spring PDA is the Towser Lecture, and we are honored and excited to have Dr. Kay Frendel provide the Towser Lecture this year. I look forward to seeing many of our colleagues join, and certainly trustees, you are welcome to engage in some development with us. We are going to be saying goodbye to Interim Vice President of Human Resources, Teresa Richmond. I do want to take a moment to thank her and wish her a fond farewell. She has been with us for a year. Her last day is this Friday, January 17th, and I do want to express my deepest gratitude for her leadership during this transitional year. Her guidance provided much needed stability and support, and while not perfect in the work that is working with human resources, certainly one that was very person-centered. We will miss her sense of humor and wish her well as she goes back to being a full-time bop to her grandkids. And as a reminder, Kate Jolly will serve as the Interim Vice President of Human Resources while we do continue the search for a permanent hire. We have a farewell for Teresa tomorrow, which you are all welcome to attend. Just have two more things here. Trustee Dorothy Battenfeld has been voted and confirmed her appointment to the California Community College Trustees Board. CCT President and Kern College Community District Trustee Nan Gomez Heitzberg states in communication, your appointment reflects the confidence and respect your peers have in your leadership, experience, and dedication to advancing the mission of California's community colleges. Your role as a trustee is critical to ensuring the continued success of our colleges, and we are confident that your contributions will significantly enhance the board's ability to serve students and communities across the state. We congratulate you and are proud to have you represent the very best of our community and know that you will be a fierce advocate for students and our district. So congratulations to you. In closing, I want to share a little bit of a highlight. The district has filed our 24-25 P1 320 report. What that basically means is where we start to share how did the district do in terms of student enrollment, especially full-time equivalent student. We have seen some significant gains in this fall semester compared to last year. So we're looking at a 6.43% increase of student enrollment from last year and projecting another 6% increase this spring 25 over last year. That is really testament to the ways in which students are enrolling and coming back, the ways that faculty are teaching in the classroom, the way that classes are being scheduled, the way that support services are there, and we are thrilled to see students engaging and enrolling at the JC. We saw some incredible gains in dual enrollment, instructional service agreements, non-credit, CDCP. We'll be sharing some more district-wide, but just really want to share that staying focused on our group of faculty, staff, and administrators that are providing oversight to our strategic enrollment management plan and have been over the last few years. They've been consistent on it, and it is yielding in terms of students showing up and enrolling. So my greatest gratitude to those colleagues. That concludes my remarks, and I really do wish everyone, every single student, a strong and learning-filled spring 2025 semester. Thank you. Thank you for sitting through my very long report this evening.
Well, thank you, Dr. Garcia. I think student trustee Spinozzi said he was going to go longer, so let's see. We will move on to the student trustee report.
I'm going to go plus or minus 20 minutes. So we'll see where we're at, guys, at the end. So I just want to wish all you guys a happy new year. It's great to be back. It's great to see all your guys' faces. And I'm going to make a brief comment about AB 1705. And I just want to say that I think the very notion of doing anything but opposing AB 1705 in every single capacity is flying in the face of what a community college is, not just on the state level, but the national level. Well, this is a state level thing. I meant to say not only on the Santa Rosa Junior College level, but also on the state level. It just happens that the classes that the students or the students who are taking these classes are usually the most vulnerable people in our JC, and they're the people who need these classes to stay there. I've talked to a lot of students who've taken Calculus 1, and they said there's no way they would have passed it the first go if they just jumped straight into Calculus 1. They said it just wasn't possible. I know a lot of people who have made that attempt, they've kind of overestimated their math skill. They've said to me, they said, I wish that I did take pre-calc 1, and I think removing the stepping stone is just gonna hurt hugely for our students. I don't think this is something that we should even entertain the notion of. I've talked to faculty, most of the faculty I've talked to, they don't support it either. And this is just something I don't support, students don't support, and faculty don't support either. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Now we are moving on to other board member comments. Yeah, Trustee Bricker, please.
I just have a couple of quick comments. I want to echo, first off, Dr. Garcia's comments about the wildfires down in the greater LA area, and send my condolences to everyone who's impacted down there. We have a campus down there that's very close to the fires, and one thing that's been really incredible is to see once again how the higher ed community across all sectors are coming together to support one another, and it just makes me so proud to be part of this higher education community. I also want to take a moment to just thank everyone in this community who's helped with the onboarding for Trustee Bailey and myself. I will say, even though I worked here for about 8 years, it's very different sitting up here, and the intentionality and the work that's gone on to help onboard us properly is just so very appreciated. So thank you to the vice presidents who have given those presentations. Thank you to Dr. Garcia for making this a priority. And thank you to Zara and Kaylani who have helped organize all of this. I know it's a lot of work, and I just really appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Other trustees, Trustee Bailey, please.
Yes. Clearly, to echo the sentiments of Trustee Bricker, our experience has been very welcoming. Again, I want to thank the vice presidents, all of which who have been very informative. Again, I have comments with regards to AB 1705, and to say that we're on the road to student success. A lot of students may not understand or recognize the idea to transfer, but we want to make sure that we're supporting them in the decision-making process, the decision-making process that allows them to take the prerequisites, the co-requisites that allow them to be positioned whether or not they choose to transfer or not transfer. I also want to say thank you to the board. The Board of Trustees have been extremely supportive. Again, as Trustee Bricker said, in our onboarding. And again, I can only say, and I want to welcome all of you into coming into 2025, a new day, new start, new beginning. And the challenges that we have to face, we're going to face them together. Thank you.
Thank you. Other trustees wishing to speak? Yes, Trustee Battenfeld.
No, I just want to say thank you for those kind words, and I'm really looking forward to serving on the state board. Our first meeting is January 25th, so I'll be in Sacramento for that meeting, but I really look forward to, like Dr. Garcia said, trying to be a voice for the college, for our students and faculty, but also for the whole system. Again, it's going to be a really challenging time, and so we really need some good advocacy at the state level. And so I look forward to representing everybody and doing what I can do. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other trustee comments? I'll just, echo congratulations and thank you, Trustee Battenfeld, for stepping up. I know you've served on the legislative committee at the Community College League for a long time, and this is a good next step to continue to influence policy in the right direction. And then I'd also like to echo the thanks to Interim VP Teresa Richmond, who's served us for the last year and has been a great asset. And congratulations and thanks to the team working on our strategic enrollment management, VP Holcomb and everyone. Very encouraging numbers, and just keep it up. All right, with that, we will move on to item B7, and we will start with the Academic Senate report with President John Stover. Oh, never mind. You know what? You sent an email saying you weren't going to give a report. I remember that now.
President Shaban, members of the board, Dr. Garcia, members of the community. The Academic Senate has had no meetings since you last saw me in December, so I have nothing to report other than to invite you to our Academic Senate meeting tomorrow. With that said, I will also express our grief and solidarity with the victims of the Los Angeles fires. And some of you may remember Narmeen, who taught in psychology and is retired from the JC. She lost her home in the Tubbs fire in 2017, and she has now lost her home in Altadena in 2025. So in the Department of Behavioral Sciences, we are circulating a link from her daughter, which is a GoFundMe link, and I'm happy to share that out with anybody who would like it. And I hope you'll keep Narmeen and her family in your thoughts, and all the folks who have lost homes multiple times in this new climate and environment in which we live. So with that, I'll just also say on a positive note that I am now full-time in Santa Rosa, having been approved to transfer from Petaluma. In my heart, I will always be a Petaluman. And this is the first time in 20 years in education I've been on one campus, and it's transformative. I love it. I'm just so pleased to be here full-time, 100% living and working in Santa Rosa. So thank you for this opportunity.
All right, thank you very much. And a great example for your students of how to respond when called on, even when you aren't expected. Next up, the Student Government Assembly report with SGA President Ruben Garcia.
Thank you. Good afternoon, President Shaban, Board of Trustees, President Garcia, and members of the college community. I hope everyone had a restful and enjoyable winter break. And really quick, on the same note as Trustee Spinozzi regarding AB 1705, I just wanted to share a little bit of my own personal experience. I'm a community college student that entered 5 years removed from high school. And so for my major, I'm required to take a certain level of math. And the first math class that I took when I came here was Math 27. And for those of you who know of it, it's a 6-unit pre-calculus class, and it is brutal. So to imagine that now that when I came, that was the minimum math available. You could either take it all in one or in separate classes. That was already a challenge for me, and if I didn't give everything I had to passing that class, I definitely wouldn't have. So, and that required tutoring in school and outside resources and just dedicating it all the time I had. So to imagine that now calculus could potentially be the entry level of math class for community colleges is unimaginable for me. So just to give some insight on my own experience as a student in that regard. But to resume, as we return from the break and step into the spring 2025 semester, I'm proud to reflect on the accomplishments of the SGA during the past semester while looking forward to the opportunities ahead. This marks the final semester of my term, as well as the terms of our current SGA team, and we're committed to making the most of it by building on the momentum and successes we've achieved so far. Over the winter break, we held a fun and productive retreat, which gave us time to strengthen our teamwork and plan for the initiatives we aim to implement this semester. Our primary focus remains on making a positive impact on the SRJC community and ensuring that the voices of students continue to be heard and valued, especially in light of national politics. While the semester is just beginning and there are no major updates to share at this time, we're eager to provide meaningful updates in the coming months as our plans and projects begin to take shape. As always, I welcome any questions, comments, or concerns from the board or members of the college community. Thank you for your time and continued support for the SGA.
Thank you. Next, we have the AFA report with AFA President Ann Donegan.
All righty. Thank you very much. Happy New Year, President Shaban, trustees, President Garcia, and college community. I look forward to working with you all in 2025. First thing I want to talk to you about today, and some of you have touched upon it, is our upcoming changes in our political climate. We've got less than a week till an inauguration, and he left, but I want more Bayanines in this country, and I am so nervous that that's going to change. And I know that at the end of the semester, the district sent out very good messaging to our colleagues and students and members in the community who need to know their rights if they aren't citizens, if they're in mixed status households. I urge you all to continue to do this because our students need this. And I know I said this at the last meeting, but I think it's worth repeating. You all have such amazing connections here in Sonoma County, in Sacramento, right? I'm very glad that Trustee Battenfield has this new position, in Silicon Valley, and in Washington, D.C. You do. And I need you, or our campus community is urging you all to do what you can to protect our most vulnerable, because your voices are so much louder than ours, right? I can tell you from a union perspective, my union colleagues up and down the state are strongly talking about this and doing what we can for our students and our colleagues. But I just urge you to keep on doing what you can to help our students. The next topic that I wanted to talk about is campus safety, and I thank President Garcia for her comments earlier. It was definitely helpful to know when and why the routing of 911 calls going to campus police happened. I think that's really helpful. As a historian, I always tell my students the why is the most important, right? You need to figure out why things happened. And I can definitely see that in some cases, routing things to campus police might save time, but there are situations where that would not be the case. If there was a fire on campus or if someone needed an ambulance, it would be quicker response time if it went to the proper authorities. And I may be Pollyanna, and I'm married to a lawyer, so I've heard this many times. Not knowing the law doesn't give you a pass, right? We have to follow the law. And again, I'm Pollyanna. I take this public service thing pretty seriously. If anyone should follow the law, it's people who work for the government. Because if we don't have the rule of law, then anyone can say, well, that law is not for me. So AFA is still asking for a full accounting of why this happened. I mentioned this also at the October board meeting. We still haven't had on this campus a full accounting of what happened in Petaluma, right? I want to know, was there someone with a gun, right? What was the response? I've heard people say the 911 call went to JC Police. I've heard them say it went to Petaluma Town Police. I don't know what it is, but I'm seeing connections with 911. And I think we need a full accounting because there cannot be trust without transparency. There just can't be. I don't know if any of you got to read the Oakleaf article in December about some concerns at Poly Hall. And while the students are not, the members that AFA is charged to be concerned with, there are students. So of course we care about them. And again, there were concerns with Poly Hall about fire alarms and 911 calls. Again, this connection with 911. So I'm just asking for a full accountability to the college community, right? We need to know what's going on. The last comment that I want to end with is I want to talk a little bit about Ed Buckley. I know last meeting, President Garcia did mention about the passing of Ed Buckley. I'm probably one of the few people in the room who was here when Ed Buckley was the VP of AA. He was the VP of Academic Affairs from, I believe, 92 to 2005. I didn't know the man. He was on my hiring committee. I was hired as a full-time historian in 2000. So he interviewed me, but I didn't know him because for my first 15 years here, I just focused on teaching. I did my department work. I did some committee work, but I said nothing in meetings. because I felt like I knew nothing and I wanted to sit and learn from the incredibly smart people at SRJC. And Ed Buckley was one of them. Before he was VPAA.
You are at 5 minutes, but I will give you some grace period.
Thank you for Ed. VPAA, he was a longtime English professor here, and he was an academic, right? He truly cared about high quality education, and not just for his English 1A students who he loved, but I heard him talk about at PDA about that our college skills department, talk about being afraid of concerned about AB 705. We used to have what I remember Ed Buckley saying, it was the envy of the state. And why this was such a great place is because we met students where they needed to be. If they needed to take an algebra class, they took an algebra class. If they needed to take a relatively low-level grammar class, that was available. But now the state is saying we can't do that, right? So I just want to say, again, I didn't know Ed Buckley very well, but I was mentored by people who really appreciated the work he did, and we were so proud of the teaching and learning that this college provided for so many of our students. So I just want to say thank you to Ed.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have the SEIU report with SEIU President Sandy Segala.
Okay, my report's a little messed up now that I've heard some people's reports today, Dr. Garcia. So excuse me if I stumble. But anyway, good afternoon, President Shaban and Board of Trustees, Dr. Garcia students, and our community. Thank you for your attention today. And I just also would like to wish everyone a happy New Year 2025 and hope everyone did have a fantastic winter break. We also, SEIU would like to also congratulate and recognize Biene Magos for his dedication and hard work in the custodial department. This is a well-deserved recognition at Santa Rosa Junior College for Employee of the Month, and congratulations to him. SEIU and the district negotiations team in January 9, SEIU held 2 classified employee unit meetings. One was at 12 o'clock and one was at 3 o'clock that day. Also, the SEIU tentative agreement was up for ratification online beginning at noon on Wednesday, January 9 that day, and it closed at noon on Friday, January 10th. At this unit meeting, SEIU, we gave information updates on the tentative agreement contract, and in particular to share the 7-year classified review study outcome. SEIU, we gave clarification to the details of the outcome and the market study analysis referencing details to position grading, slotting positions according to the market study, and the percentages allowed in the study. We provided full transparent information to all of the documents and the work that was put into this study. SEIU also recognizes and is gratefully appreciated that Kate Jolly for being present with us during that day for both of our meetings for ratification. We needed her there in case there were some questions that were being asked, and we felt we could get her backing to help support us, and she was there for us. And thank you very much, Kate, for your presence. Our SEIU negotiations team was excited at 1:15 on Friday, January 10th. That was the closing the voting of the ratification of our contract. It was passed and ratified by our union voting members. I'm happy to say the response to the vote was 95.36% approved and ratified the tentative agreement, and 4.64% who rejected the tentative agreement, which also authorized negotiation team to call for a strike if need be, but obviously we don't need to worry about that. Today, I asked the Board of Trustees to also agree to the passing of our SEIU contract, and it is on your agenda today. Again, I say with great appreciation for all of those who assisted both the district and the negotiation team. It was quite a team task, and we finally got it done. Great thanks to you all who were involved. SEIU would also really appreciate and thank Teresa Richmond for all of her work that she's done the time she's been here with us. She's been an extreme positive person for us in helping so many difficult situations and places, and we're definitely going to miss you tremendously, and thank you for all of your work. And finally, I want to tag a little bit along with AFA and regarding the reports that we were concerned about and are concerned about, the 911 information that's been going out in the district. And I would like to thank Dr. Garcia for your clarification today, because I had a long list of stuff to go over with you and the board today, but thank you for clarifying. I won't go into that. And I also would like to thank you, Dr. Garcia, for the update on the emails as well, because that also is on my list of items, because we've had several classified professional emails concerning feeling fearful of being at work due to the receipt of the inappropriate and potentially threatening emails that have been received for these last several weeks. Safety in the workplace and working conditions is subject of bargaining in the contract between SEIU and the district. SEIU asks that the district please continue to work and clear up the situation, as SEIU is also concerned about safety for all of our SRJC employees and our students. And that's all I have. Thank you very much for your attention today.
All right, thank you very much, and congratulations, and thanks for all your work and your SEIU bargaining team's work on the contract over a lot of time.
Thank you very much.
Yes. All right, with that, that is the last reporting item. So we are on to item C1, which is an informational report on AB 1705. There's not a verbal report associated with this report, but we will take public comment on it. I do have one public comment submitted by Michael Vanderpoorten.
Good afternoon again. I did give you a sheet with some data. There are copies of the graphs there for you, so take a look at those. When we talk about this, we mostly talk about math and English. I'm going to talk about math. To me, that's the core course that really tells us what's going on with education. And I remind you that junior college is supposed to have 4 legs: transfer, vocational, remedial, and then other adult ed. And this AB 1705 and other elements of this all relate to transfer. It says the other 3 legs don't matter. And I'll tell you, in this community, those other 3 legs matter a lot. We care about CTE. We care about people we have so many students who come to us at the junior college and come to the high schools even way behind. And there are lots of reasons. So we don't need to get into that. But we have students who have needs other than jumping into statistics or calculus. We need people who can get a contractor's license, become a CNA, or any of those other things. Boy, and I've seen some errors by some contractors when the employees couldn't do things like calculate square footages right. It costs the employer a lot of money. So I'd like to point out, so we don't see any data in the report, but if you look at the blue line, blue line is your total enrollment, and that goes to the axis on the left there. And we can see our total enrollment. And unfortunately, we don't have the last semester. We'd love to get the data updated online so we could have that. The top line there is your math enrollment. And you can see the math enrollment has crashed relative to regular enrollment. It went down far further than regular enrollment, and it's bounced back a little bit, but it's still way below. I add a third line. By the way, that one's axis is on the right. The third line is the green line. That's what I call success. That's a student who got an A, B, C, or a pass in the class. So you can see how many students passed the class and how this has crashed. When we look at it, if you calculate, remember your calculus? The area under the curve tells you the total quantity. The yellow area represents about 10,000 student enrollments, one semester of one student who didn't take and pass a math class. That is a huge impact on our community, that we have 10,000 semesters of math education that didn't happen. We need those students in our classrooms. We need the community to have that education. So I also point out, if you look at the absolute numbers, we've got like 1,400 or 1,500 students passing a math class in a semester. We've been transferring out about 1,400 students a semester. So we need to get those numbers up. So let's go back. We need, in your advocacy with the state, we need to offer those additional classes. We need to offer those opportunities that we've taken away. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I don't have any other public comments submitted already. Is there anyone else in the room wishing to make a public comment on item C1? Seeing none, do we have anyone online? Any board members wishing to speak or make comment on this item? Seeing none, we will.
Oops.
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean, I think the information is good and it's helpful. I would like to have a longer discussion and more information maybe at some point. And I think part of it is, I think we have a new board, and it would be good for me to be reminded of exactly what AB 1705 is, and maybe get more data. So for example, you know, we have the data on the just kind of the overall success, but I know part of it is, you know, there are different requirements for different transfer majors, for certificates, for different kinds of career programs, each have their, and so it would, and I don't know, I'm probably asking Dr. Smotherman, maybe just shake your head if it's too much work. But, you know, to just know, so is it student in STEM majors who are having the least or the most success? Is it students who have other, you know, kinds of math requirements? You know, because I know it's different. You know, not everybody has to take calculus. It depends on the program and the major, and I know there's a lot of different flexibility, and I know that also there's a difference between the credit math classes that we can offer and then the non-credit, which, you know, is something, and that's something. And then I know also that, in fact, I think it's happening today, that the chancellors are voting on some changes to AB 1705, and that would, for example, with calculus, allow certain students to not start with calculus, even with a concurrent support class. They can still do that if they want to, but I know it allows for some. So I think just in terms of the data, you know, where is it working, where is it not working, and also kind of where are we now with it? And partly because I hear from community members, and they have a lot of, I think, misinformation about what it really is and what it does and what we're offering. And so it would be helpful for me too, when I meet people in the community, to be able to have, you know, really good, accurate information about what we're offering and what we're not offering, and who it's serving and who it's not serving. Because I know, again, anecdotally, I hear from some students that it's great, it's working really, really well, and then others who are frustrated with it. So I just, those are just kind of, and again, I don't expect any of those answers today, but those are just some of my concerns or things I would maybe like further information on. But I really appreciate the information we got today. It was really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Trustee Battenfeld. Any other board members? Yes.
Again, in recognizing, and again, as I hear this echoing of being the envy of the state of California, I think we're in a new era now where it is absolutely essential with regards to the progressive nature of students moving on. It is understandable that all of our students are not going to transfer to a four-year institution. But again, as we conclude, or should I say have information with regards to students' inability to assess, let's say mathematically, we understand that there's a lot of different learning styles and everyone learns differently. But the idea of the course offerings that we have to prepare students, and again, preparation is vitally important. I don't think that we look to set students up for failure, but we want them to be successful, but we have to make sure that we're employing the resources and also the training for our instructors as well, to make sure that they're not being overwhelmed. I think the idea that in being optimistic, and again, not overly optimistic, but knowing that our objective is to make sure that the students in this region and in this district are adequately prepared. And I stated earlier, many of our students are not totally sure what they may want to do. But in preparing them for future success, I think, again, as Trustee Badenfeld said, it is a need for more information as we look at the data. But the idea is that we want to make sure that we position our students that are coming to our institutions to be the best that they can be. And I think in a lot of cases, many of our students are operating on their own self-motivation. So it requires us as an institution to make sure, or should I say to ensure, that we're also motivating and supporting them with the adequate resources for them to be successful. So again, I look to have further discussions, or should I say, information that are presented, looking at additional data. But the one thing that I do not want to do is set our students up for failure.
Thank you. All right, one last check for any other comments. All right, we will move on from item C1. We are on to the consent agenda, items D1 through D8, with the approval being item D9. Do I have a motion and a second on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Any public comment on the consent agenda here in the room or online? Seeing none. Student Trustee Spinozzi. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstentions? The consent agenda is approved. Next up, we have item E3, personnel actions. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Any public comments in the room or online? Seeing none, any board members wishing to comment on this item? Seeing none, Student Trustee Spinozzi. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? The ayes have it. Next up, file item E2, November 23rd, 2024 to December 20th, 2024 warrants. Do I have a motion and a second?
Move to approve.
Second.
Is there any public comment in the room or online? Seeing none. Any board members wishing to comment? Seeing none, I believe trustees Fishman and Martinez are going to abstain. Student Trustee Spinozzi. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed and abstain?
Abstain.
Yep, 2 abstentions. Passes. Next to E3, instructor load reports for fall 2024 and spring 2025. We do have an edit that I'll need before the motion. There is a typo on the date. It is in fact supposed to be 2025, not 2024. This is new information. So with that edit to the report, do I have a motion and a second to approve it?
Motion.
Second.
Any public comment in the room or online? Seeing none. Board members wishing to comment? Seeing none. Student Trustee Spinozzi. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions?
Abstain.
1 abstention. All right. Next up, E4, the SEIU 1021 and district tentative contract agreements. Do I have a motion and a second?
Motion. Second.
All right. Any public comment on this item? Seeing none. Any board members wishing to comment? Again, thanks for everyone that put work on it, from the district management team and the SEIU team, and congratulations. With that, we'll call our advisory vote. Student Trustee Spinozzi. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstains? All right, the ayes have it. As a reminder, As a reminder, item E5 was pulled from the agenda, and so we are on to E6, which is Resolution 1-2025, changes to the adopted budget. Do I have a motion and a second?
Second.
Any public comments here in the room or online, or members of the board wishing to comment on it? Seeing none, this requires a roll call vote. So, Kilani, are you calling the? All right. Let's call the vote.
Student trustee Spinozzi. Trustee Bailey. Trustee Battenfeld. Trustee Bricker. Trustee Fishman. Trustee Martinez. Trustee Valdovinos. Trustee Shaban.
Aye. All right, and that takes care of the file. Thanks, everyone, joining our first meeting of the year. I know it won't be your last, so we'll see you again real soon. All right, this meeting is adjourned.